But I love all my family.
So, what is your name?
Dominic,
Where are you from?
Vallelonga, Italy.
So, what is your name?
Salvatore,
Where are you from?
Italy, yes.
What's your name?
Angelina,
Where are you from?
Vallelonga, Italy.
So, what is your name and where are you from?
Mary Dordano. I'm from Vancouver.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Rose Galati and I'm from Vancouver. And my name is Rachel Galati Schmidt and I'm from Vancouver.
What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Anthony Galati. I live in Burnaby, British Columbia.
How long have you been in Canada?
59 years.
What was the journey like to get here?
Somebody came to our town. When he went to Toronto, he was traveling because he was working with the Hotel Vancouver. His cousin, and actually his mother cousins, was coming to our town in Italy. And he told him, find me a girlfriend. So when the cousin got there, I knew him because we lived in the same area. But he was in his maybe 35 or older. And we bought some wood and we were trying to pick them up and stack them inside somewhere and outside. And the guy walked by and said hello, and he was looking at me a few times. And I went to my mother and I said, that guy's getting married. Why is he looking at me? And I was 16 years old. Yeah. But like I say, I knew the family. I knew him. So here comes my parents 2 days later. They already knew. She said, hey, he came here for your hand's marriage for Dominic, son of Rose and Antonio Galati, which Grandpa, he was my aunt's brother, dad's brother, Mary, Grandpa Galati, sister. So, like I said, we knew in the family. So I went to my sister. She's 2 years older. And I said, came for you. She says, no. He asked for you. And I had to thought about it, like, for a while. I did. And I didn't know what to do. And I was talking to some of my friends. And where are you going to Canada? And you know who they are, because when he left, he was 16. I was 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So finally, that's what we did. So we got engaged. And then we had the wedding in Italy, but he wasn't there. Somebody just stood up. My dad actually stood up just because you got to have somebody to, So we did that. And then he did the papers. And I got here October 12th, 1956. So, and then we had 3 kids.
If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self and to the kids of this generation, what would you say?
What did you say? The first thing I would say, it should be the parents to give advice to the kids. And when they give you advice, listen. Don't do things that, you're going to get in trouble or you're going to get sick or you're going to die. And listen to your parents. If your parents don't say anything, ask somebody. Ask at the school. If they take you to the doctor, even if your mother is there or your father, ask the doctor or the church if you belong to any church, that's what you should do.
So, what is your name?
Dominic.
Uh-huh. And where are you from?
Vallelonga, Italy.
Okay. Why did you come to Canada?
Because of my dad was here, yeah. I went to Toronto. I used to work in Hotel Vancouver.
Mm-hmm. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self.
Stay out of the problem and listen to mom and dad.
Well,
Where are you from?
Italy, I guess.
Where in Italy are you from?
South.
What was the journey like to come to Canada?
I would say a little bit long from with a boat from Naples to Halifax, and then was a 4-day train, 3 nights to come to Vancouver.
Why did you come to Canada?
For a better living, I would say. To see her, anyway.
How did you meet Aunt Mary?
Oh, that's a long story.
It's okay, we got time.
Yeah, okay. Well, she was going to night school for short terms, and I was going to night school for learning English, Vancouver Tech.
What do you think about life in Canada?
It's good. Well, I can't complain my age. Don't do any good. Like when I came here in Canada, okay, I was almost, I don't mean it was a million, I was a very good position in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I had my motorcycle, Vespa, but not just a small Vespa, 150cc.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to work very good in Northern Italy, and so I was very good shape. And then my mother made the application to immigrate in Canada, not me, during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home because we used to go Northern Italy.
Mm-hmm.
We were living down the bottom. See, that is Italy. We were coming from here, see, up there.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother said when I got to home, we used to go in February,
Mm-hmm.
and they come back at Christmas time because then they get cold in the Austria border. Hey, stay for a couple of months, in January, February. So when I got home, my mom said, Salvatore, I make application to go in Canada. She did a couple of times, to tell you the truth or more. I don't know if so I would say in January, the consulate from Canada sent me a letter saying your application been approved. I was no even almost no interest, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wrote back to the consul, say I want to pass the visa because it's a medical visa. You have extra for TB in Rome. I went to Rome with my TB, tasted everything. And so after they write to me, you'll be approved completely, make a your passport, and you can come.
Mm.
So in 3-4 months, I got here. I came here. I came with Cristoforo Colombo, the ship, and like I said, they went to Halifax, and then we took 4 or 5 days. Like I said, the 4 days, 3 nights. No, 4 nights, 3 days, because we got Halifax in the evening. Like so, we with the CN, and I got here like April 27. Got here 27. No language, nothing.
Wow.
So I got a relative, my mother cousin, but she was old lady. From the first day, I gotta go border room, leave. Nobody, some from my village, yes, but I wanted to stay with these people on 80 Victoria Drive now, Tony. Between Nanaimo and Victoria Drive was one guy from Reggio Calabria. I got there $80 a month border room. After we start the army, you know, because his wife went in Italy. And he poor guy, I mean, I was young. Sometimes you know, appreciated to tell you what's my fault too. So we started the army. I wanted to live with a Polish lady for couple of months. Nice lady, old lady. But, you know, it's different, everything different. Old house like it's there, you saw my older. no keep in good shape. I was there. She said to me, this old lady, I'm going to cook spaghetti for you. Every morning, make me breakfast, she said. But I didn't have a use to eat in the morning. I said, make just a coffee and a piece of toast. She used to make a fried eggs and things. But she making me the spaghetti. And you can glue on the wall, so overcooked. But I don't blame her. See, that's the way it was. So after I find, where I moved there, from there. I moved next to Dominique used to live. Second, when I moved there in October 1966.
Oh,
So anyway, we were three bordanti there.
three border. Yeah.
Upstairs where everybody was bordered, and downstairs they closed the living room. They used to sleep too because they paid that time in the house $17,000 mortgage to help the mortgage. And we used to pay, I think, $90 each. So we got to that. I met her too because
Yes, Dominic lived next
Dominique
door.
next
Why?
door. But mostly, I see her a couple of times with Dominique, Tony. But most of the time, like we meet, like I said, Vancouver in the night school, I go to learn English because I'm a stupid person, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And she came from this business, and we started talking, that's it. Yeah, but, and then I started working. I immigrated there. So one guy, a contractor, called me for cement to finish. And there was a small contractor. Put up pieces out to work, cement, some 2 o'clock you finish. And you go home and don't get to pay for it. I said, why did I come here in this country? I was really mad.
Yeah.
And then I came in April, the end of April. In June the 8th, and that I don't forget, 8th, I found Norman uncle. He used to do plaster stock construction. So he hired me. Now he talk German and English. I talk Italian. It was funny. The first time Mickey said, I have to start it from the bottom again. Started, and then I saw Italian guy used to work with him. He said, maybe we're better. The other guy, Stone is his name. And I said, maybe better we put it together so they know each other, they talk each other. And I started talking. And then I worked for him 15 years.
Wow.
From 1960 June to 81. And then I had 97-9, I was really sick. A year without work. I had a pleuris. Oh yeah, I was in bad shape. And then I found the school board in Richmond. I worked there 20 years, 21 years. So 2 companies I know in Canada, that's it. And then when I stopped.
Wow.
And then I retired to 04.
What did you do at the school board?
Janitor, and then I came a custodian, about 11, 12 years custodian, and the rest was in the night, from 3 to 11. She when I had a Thomasina, she had to quit the job because so I said you quit, and I worked in didn't start working till she started only 86, 85, 86. But mostly we saved at the time, and the living was very good. We bought the first house $18,000. Be 50-foot lot. Victoria Gladstone. Gladstone 27. Do you remember Tony the house? Yeah. 50 by 120. Nice. Like Thomasin house. Bungalow. But they had a 2-bedroom. That's why I built this, you see. I say to build a bigger house there, why it's lots of property tax. It's a 50-foot lot, I have to build a bigger house. So I bought this lot, I built the house here. And we sold, I would be millionaire if I would keep that house. We sold it for another $17,000. 1986. When we moved. X per year.
If you could give one piece of advice to the kids of today, what would you say?
learning the more language you can. It makes the life much easier. You know, more language you know, better, easier is your life. Because
Can you tell me a little bit about your parents and how they came to Canada?
And he was here for a while, and then he went back and married my mom, and he stayed there for 2 years. Then there was a war. My dad was automatically Canadian, so he had to come back here. He wasn't allowed to stay there. He came back. He tried to haul my mom and Dominic to Canada, but the immigration closed. It closed for 15 years. Immigration opened, then my mom and Dominic, they were the first one that spread AIDS, right?
Yeah.
So they arrived January 1st, 1949. 9 months later, I was born.
So would you say that you grew up in a traditional Italian household?
Yes.
How has this shaped who you are?
What? I'm learning every day.
What is your favorite thing about being Italian?
The culture, dinner and whatnot, family get together.
Okay. What is a childhood memory that you have that demonstrates your culture?
Oh my goodness. Getting together every weekend.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Rose Galati, and I'm from Vancouver. And my name is Rachel Galati Schmidt, and I'm from Vancouver.
Would both of you say that you grew up in a traditional Italian household?
Absolutely. Yes.
How has this shaped who you are today?
Oh, well, we like to cook Italian food. We like to bake Italian cookies. You know, the traditional cooking.
Okay.
We like family gatherings. We still like to meet once a week at Grandma and Grandpa's house, or Nonna and Nono's house, traditionally known as.
What is your favorite thing about being Italian?
Eating and drinking wine. You know, family values, the traditional values that you got from your grandparents and parents and aunts and uncles, let's say, you know.
What is a childhood memory that you have that demonstrates your culture?
Oh, what I remember is being Tony, Rachel, and I, my brother, my sister, and I, being at my grandmother's house, and it was fall, like winemaking season, and my grandfather would be making wine with my dad, and we would be doing the olives. Like, you used to get the green olives, and you would smash them with like a hammer, and then grandma would put them in a crock container, right, and with brine, and then you age them. I remember doing that when we were kids. And we were always encouraged to participate when it was cooking in the kitchen, or wine making, or even if it wasn't what the adults did, we were still encouraged to come and see, come and watch. Can we taste that? Can we try that? Where's my hammer to hit the olives? Yes.
Okay. If you could give one piece of advice to the people, the generation of today, what would you say?
Stay connected with your family. Learn about the history of your family. Your heritage. Yeah. I think that's important. And trying to keep some of it. I mean, you might not be able to keep all of it.
What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Anthony Galati. I live in Burnaby, British Columbia.
Would you say that you grew up in a traditional Italian household?
Yes.
How has this shaped who you are today?
It's shaped my life in the way that I've taken on a lot of the things that my mom does and that my dad does, whether it's in the household or out in public with people, the way you talk to people, the way you handle people, even in the workplace, with young, with old, with middle-aged people, with children, and I seem to have, gained the respect of a lot of people just because of my grandparents and my parents.
What's your favorite thing about being Italian?
Food, the traditional birthdays, family get-togethers for Christmas, for birthdays, for holidays such as Easter. The food seems to everybody seems to put a bigger and larger effort into what's being put on the table, and everybody always leaves happy, right from dinner through coffee. Young kids, the older generation and the middle-aged ones are always leaving happy.
What is a childhood memory you have that demonstrates your culture?
What sticks in my brain when we were young kids was every Sunday we would always go to my Nonna and Nono's place. And everybody always ate together. Everybody sat at the same table. And everybody had something to say, whether you were 5 years old or 55 or 65 or 85. You were always involved in the conversation. The adults would hear what the young kids would have to say, whether it was important or not. You felt included. And the young kids basically are treated like kings and queens. They are the first that would get the food, the first for dessert. And it seemed like it didn't matter if you were a bad guy like me. My grandmother always looked after me and protected me, and so did my grandfather, which was, next to, you can't even explain it in words. It was always, you always felt protected and always felt loved, and that was an important thing.
If you could give one piece of advice to the children of today, what would you say?
Try to take in what your parents tell you, not always what you might think is right, but usually down the road, most of the advice that your parents have given you basically will lead you in the right path that you are considering taking. It doesn't always mean, that you need to do what they had wished for you to do. You do need to follow what you feel is where you need to be. I think traveling is very important. It does open your eyes to a lot of different cultures, and just to see how people live outside of Canada, if the opportunity is there. I think it is a big thing for the younger generation today. Whether it's a university or a technical school, I think that is the way to go today, because in order to adjust into your adulthood and into the workforce, you need to have some schooling, whether it's schooling for on-job type training or university in order to become whatever, whether it's a teacher or a doctor. Or
is there anything else you'd like to say?
If you get the opportunity to help out the younger generation and the older generation, jump at that opportunity, because there are things that you don't realize that you can learn from the older and the younger generation too. Sometimes as you get older, you lose touch with just the fun aspects of life that you need to have.
I love all my family.